Okay, preparing. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning now because I saw Gladys here in our chat box in Zoom. So we have viewers from NYC. Hi, Gladys. We are so proud of you. Have you met someone through social app? Okay, yeah. Good evening to our Zoom participants. Hi. Our topic is listening, and also our guest speaker is not hindi siya yung first time. So it's very I think he has a large fan base sa Niner. Kasi pag binabasa ko yung live, yung comment, Sir Malone, ang daming fans. Mukhang enjoy mag-end si Sir. Okay, and then sa ating every viewers, please don't forget to tag your friends. And then if you have question, please let's make this interactive. Just chat in your or type in your question. Okay? So yeah, let's begin. But wait, sir. I would like to say hi to my co-admins Marvin and GL and Manuel and Michelle. And thank you to Sir Irvin for giving this opportunity. 9.09er.
Good
Okay.
evening, boss.
Yes. Sir Malone, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much for having me again. It's another wonderful evening here in the Philippines, and again, I'm grateful that I've been invited here at IFNG to share my knowledge of the IELTS with all our viewers. And I truly believe that this will be a very meaningful activity for everyone who's watching right now. And I think we also have viewers on Facebook. Am I right, Sir Jeff?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will just copy their question if
Thank you,
you don't have an access. Sir, before anything else, I
Yes,
just
sir.
have one question.
Go ahead,
So
sir.
Valentine's Day is coming. Do you have any plans?
I plan to stay home. I plan to
Okay.
stay home and work. I think I'm working on the 14th. Yeah. I think I'm
Hmm.
working on the
So it's
14th.
just a regular day.
It's just a
Like
regular day.
I don't know with other people. Okay, sir. Yeah, let's start.
But hey,
Okay.
if there's anyone interested to make my Valentine's interesting, my DMs are open. Anyway, so yeah,
Okay, sir.
thank you. I'll be sharing my presentation now, Sir Jeff. Yeah. Okay, I don't typically do this. I don't remember doing this in the past, but can we just say a quick prayer? Because um, this is actually very essential to my style. And before I was just afraid that I might offend people when I pray, because at the end of the day we all have different beliefs. But just humor me. Just try to give me this particular opportunity, because I feel like when I pray I become a better version of myself, because I always say that whatever I have, it doesn't come from me. It comes from God. So I'm not going to pray to shove down my belief down your throat. Rather, it's my way of energizing myself, especially now that I'm very very, very busy. So let's pray, guys. Dear Heavenly Father, we praise you, we worship you, we give you all the glory and thanks. Lord God, thank you so much for this wonderful evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for everyone who's here tonight, Lord God. I pray, Lord, that whatever we will do, you will guide it. You will support us, Lord God. Whatever things that I will say that my students, my viewers will find helpful, Lord, I pray that they will be able to remember it, retain it, and practice it, Lord God. I pray, Lord, that for every IELTS student watching right now, Lord God, I pray for wisdom, guidance, and confidence, Lord. Help them all get 7 or higher in every section of the IELTS exam. And I pray in Jesus' name that the heart of their examiner will be touched so that they can get the score that they want. I know that if you give them the results that they wish, Lord, they will become a blessing not only to themselves and their families, but to those that are around them as well, Lord. Please continue helping and protecting our healthcare workers, our frontliners, Lord God. They are a blessing to this world. They are blessings to their community. And I pray, Lord, that you will continue using all of us in order to make your will be done here on earth. All of this we ask, we declare, we claim in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. All right. So it's a very short prayer. At Niner, because I get to call the shots, I can pray longer, but I guess I don't have that liberty here. I want to maximize and make the most of my time. Again, if my boss is watching, Sir Irvin, good evening, boss. I will do my best to represent our company to the best of my ability. Anyway, welcome to my lecture. We're going to talk about the IELTS listening section. In particular, we're going to focus on sentence completion, how to answer it, how to deal with it, what are the strategies in answering sentence completion questions. And I'm going to give you tips on how to become a better listener. Okay, listening is actually good because even in your, let's say, your day-to-day activities, even in your life, even in your career, you want to become a really good listener. It's going to really serve you well. And I believe that the things that we will be discussing tonight will contribute toward that goal. Okay. And by the way, with Valentine's, fast approaching, you should be able to listen to your partner, your lovey-dovey, so you can celebrate the event harmoniously. All right. So for those who don't know, I'm a representative of 9.09er IELTS Review and Tutorial. So the number one IELTS Review Center in the Philippines. When we say we're number one, we are not making a claim. You can see the trophies as evidence of that. We're not flexing. We're simply stating a fact. Before we proceed to the meat of the matter, we have good news for test takers in the Philippines. We have a special promo right now. So we are giving away a free hard copy of our IELTS speaking or our IELTS writing book. So our IELTS speaking book was written by our senior IELTS coach, Miss Diana Vera. It contains a lot of model answers for the IELTS speaking test. And then we have our IELTS writing book, which contains a bunch of essays written by our master writer, Mr. Brian Shawson, who got 9 in the IELTS writing section. So we're giving away one of those two books for free. You get to choose. Plus, we're going to give you access to a writing and speaking workshop by the British Council. And the speaker is one of our favorite examiners of all time, Miss Rosella Torrecampo. So she has been with the British Council. She has been an IELTS examiner in the Philippines for a very long time. And if that's not enough, we're also giving away soft copies of IELTS material. So how can you avail this promo? How can you get these freebies? Okay, number one, you have to be staying in the Philippines. So people who are watching from other countries right now, I'm sorry, but only those who are in the Philippines are eligible. On top of that, you must have already registered for an IELTS exam with the British Council. So if I have viewers right now who have already registered with the British Council, please talk to us, coordinate with us at Niner. You are most likely eligible for this promo. You have to register for your British Council IELTS exam not after than March 31. Okay, so that means you cannot be eligible for this if you book for a test, let's say in April. No, you need to book on or before March 31. But the caveat here is you should have registered for the IELTS exam using our link. So I'm going to share the link with you guys. This is perfect for people who have not yet registered for a test and are thinking about taking the exam. Again, exclusive only to people in the Philippines. Don't worry, guys. In other countries, I'm sure we're going to think of promos for you soon. So to our IFNG admin, I would really appreciate if we can share the link that I shared in the Zoom meeting right now to everyone on Facebook as well. Again, to anyone who will register for the IELTS exam on or before March 31, you are eligible for the freebies that you are seeing on the screen. As long as you registered using the link that I sent you and you have observed the conditions that are shown on the screen right now. If you were not able to get the link that we sent via Zoom and via Facebook, feel free to save a copy of the QR code that you are seeing on the screen. You can also register using that. Okay? So, you see, that's how much Niner loves you. Not even getting to the most important part, we're already talking about freebies, all right? Only from the number one IELTS review center in the country. So now let's go to the meat of the matter, the IELTS listening exam. So I'm going to discuss it briefly for the sake of those who are probably learning about it for the first time. So the IELTS is available in two formats. We have the paper delivered format and the computer delivered format. Unfortunately, in some areas, only the paper delivered format is available. And we have to remember the IELTS is composed of 4 sections, namely listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Listening, reading, and writing are the written components. Speaking, as the name implies, is the speaking component. You will take the listening, reading, and writing exams in one session, while the speaking section, you have to take it in a separate session. Now, during your test day, your written exams begin with the listening section. And that's why historically, a lot of Filipinos get a good score in the listening section. Why is that? Because you are still fresh. You're still full of energy. You just had your breakfast. You're fresh off your bed. And that's why people can really perform well in the listening section. But do note that if you're taking the exam in New Zealand or Australia, the first section that you will deal with is the writing section. So it's in reverse. In Australia, it's like writing, reading, and then listening. Australia and New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. And again, for most countries, it's listening, reading, and writing. If you're taking the paper-delivered version of the IELTS, expect to receive a test booklet and an answer sheet. The test booklet contains all the questions, and you can write on your test booklet. You can identify keywords by encircling them, underlining them, and you can write your answers on the test booklet, but make sure that before time expires, you have transferred all your answers to your answer sheet. Because at the end of the day, the answer sheet is what matters. You can get all the questions right, but if your answers are not on the answer sheet, then I'm afraid to say you're getting zero. So again, make sure that you've written your answers on the answer sheet. How many questions are you going to answer anyway? You are going to answer 40 questions in 40 minutes. And the IELTS listening section is actually composed of 4 parts. In relation, the 40 questions are evenly distributed among the 4 parts of the listening section. So listening part 1, most likely you have about 10 questions in listening part 2, another 10 questions in part 3, another 10 questions in part 4. In some cases, you might end up with 9 in one part and 11 in another, but for the most part, it's usually 10 per part of this section of the IELTS. You will listen and answer, you will listen to audio clips and answer questions for more or less 30 minutes, and then you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers from your test booklet to your answer sheet. So please make use of your 10 minutes wisely. Unlike the speaking and the writing exam where you have to come up with your own answer and thus making those sections really challenging, the good news with the listening section of the IELTS, you don't have to come up with your own answers. All the answers will be given to you. All you have to do is identify and recognize them. All the answers will be mentioned in the audio clips or the recordings, but the problem is the answers will only be mentioned once. So, or not really once, sometimes it's mentioned more than once, but the recordings or the audio clips are only played once. So that's what I mean. And because the recordings are only played once, it is really imperative that you take notes. Because if you take notes, should you forget something, at least you have some sort of reference to help you answer questions in a better way. So for those who will be taking the computer-delivered version of the exam, I have a short video here that will provide you with the fundamentals of the IELTS computer-delivered test, specifically the things that you need to learn about the listening section when you're taking the computer-based format of the test. Oops. Can you hear it, guys? Can you give me a yes in chat if you can hear it? Okay. Thank you, Sir Jeff.
For the listening test, you can change the volume by using the volume bar in the top right at any time during the test. For each part of the listening test, you will hear the recording once only. Some parts of the test have more than one type of question. Each type of question has its own instructions. In the listening test, listen carefully for the part number and question numbers to make sure you are looking at the right screen. For some questions, you need to choose which diagram label, A, B, C, etc., is correct for which item listed in the table. For each question, click on the correct space in the table. For some questions, you need to click on an answer and move it into the gap. If you want to change an answer, move another answer into the gap. If you want to leave the question unanswered, move the question back. And for some questions, you need to move an answer into a gap on a diagram. At the end of the listening test, you'll have 2 minutes to check all of your answers. The tests will automatically stop when the time finishes.
Okay, so that's it. So we pretty much covered all the fundamentals of the paper delivered and the computer delivered version of the IELTS. So what can we expect when we take the IELTS exam? What are we going to encounter or deal with in the listening section? As previously mentioned, there are 4 parts to the listening section. Each part comes with 10 questions, approximately 10. And obviously, to answer the questions, you need a source. And you have 1 recording for each part of the listening section. In part 1, you will listen to a conversation, and the topic of the conversation is something that you would typically encounter in a social setting. So it could be a discussion on jobs, maybe products, something like that. Afterwards, in listening part 2, you will hear one person talking about a topic that once again you will typically encounter in a social setting. By the time you get to section 3, the setting changes from social to academic setting. And the recording for listening part 3 is a conversation among students talking about something related to schoolwork or campus life. It could be about projects, homework, professors, or whatever that students normally deal with on campus. And finally, in listening part 4, you will listen to a professor or a lecturer talking about an academic subject or a particular concept. And the listening section actually gets progressively harder. So what do I mean by that? Normally, listening part 1, the speakers are still talking slowly so you can easily understand them. This is what we call received pronunciation. We're going to tackle that a little bit more. But received pronunciation is like the accent that people can easily understand. And then with each passing part of the test, the speakers start talking a little bit faster. So that's another challenge there. In reality, they're not really that fast. I mean, they do speed up a bit, but later we're going to talk about why these speakers sound like they're talking really fast. As if when you're listening to them in the Filipino context, we say na kinakain yung sinasabi. They sound like that, like they're just mumbling and grumbling as if we cannot even decipher what they're saying. We're going to discuss the reason behind that when we get to our discussion on becoming a better listener. So remember that there are 40 questions, and for every correct answer, you will be given 1 point. And afterwards, the examiner in charge of your exam will compute your total number of correct answers and then convert it to its equivalent in the 9-band scale, which is the grading system that the IELTS uses. So let's say you got 39 correct answers in the IELTS. That means you got 9, a perfect score, the highest possible score in the IELTS listening section. If you got 30 correct answers in the IELTS 9-band scale, 30 correct answers is equivalent to a 7. All right? Thank you so much, Miss Gladys. Maybe I'm the father of TOEFLism, but for tonight, I'm an IELTS lecturer. So some general guidelines, and this applies also to the reading section. It is recommended that you answer in all capital letters, especially if you are taking the paper-delivered version of the IELTS. Why is that? When you answer in all capital letters, you avoid capitalization issues, and at the same time, the person reading your answers will be able to easily understand what you've written. The problem sometimes with lowercase letters, there are situations where examiners cannot read them clearly, whereas when you're writing all caps, the answers are very clear. We do not want you to use contractions. Why is that? According to the IELTS itself, especially in the computer-delivered exam, contractions will not be considered correct answers. What are contractions? So instead of saying I am, you said I'm. Instead of saying do not, you said don't. Instead of saying you are, you said you're. So please avoid using contractions. You will not receive a point for them. As much as possible, in the listening section, we answer in verbatim. What is verbatim? What we hear is what we write. What we hear is what we type. Standard abbreviations are perfectly acceptable. So instead of writing the entire word doctor, we can use the abbreviation of that word. Instead of writing the entire word Mr., we can also abbreviate that. the same thing applies to the word street, avenue, general, or other job titles. When it comes to spelling your answers, it doesn't really matter if you use American or British spelling. What matters is, did you spell your answers correctly? One of the major differences between American and British spelling is that Brits love their U. Have you noticed that? Brits love their U. So Americans say color without the U. United Colors of Benetton. People in the UK, they will add the U. They love their U. All right? Instead of saying humor without the U, British English, they will put a U. So that's one of the major differences. And then, when it comes to American versus British spelling, in British English, normally they do not use the Z sound, or the Z letter, rather, the Z letter or the letter Z. They call it Z, by the way. So, in the Philippines, our educational system is modeled after American English. So, we say H and Z, right? H for hotel, Z for zebra. But British spelling or British English, they do not say H, they say H for hotel, and then Z for zebra instead of Z. So take that into account. Now, when it comes to spelling, Americans will say organize with a Z. Americans will say organize, Brits will say organize with an S. Realize with a Z for Americans. Realize with an S for Brits. But take note, the sound is pretty much the same. They're just using different letters. At the end of the day, as long as you're spelling words correctly, regardless if you're using American or British spelling, you're going to get a point as long as your answer is correct. Verbatim. I love Miss Gladys's humor. She has so much energy now that she's in America. So now we're going to talk about sentence completion, arguably one of the harder questions in the IELTS listening section. So how do you know that you're dealing with a sentence completion question? So for sentence completion, you're going to see a sentence with a missing word. And your job is to supply missing information. Why do they even have this type of question in the IELTS exam? The purpose of this type of question is to determine if you are capable of understanding functional relationships. Okay. So what does that mean? It means that if your relationship is not functional, you will not get a good score in the IELTS listening. Okay? You understand? So if you are heartbroken, if you are picking a fight with your lover, you're going to struggle in sentence completion. Because it says here, it has to be functional. No, what it actually means is, functional relationships means that, can you understand the purpose of the words used in a sentence in order for them to establish relationships, okay? But hey, if you want to go with the previous explanation, that you cannot answer this question if your relationship is not functional, then by all means, just, you do you. No matter how painful that is, okay? You do you. Aray ko, sir, sakit. That's true. It's going to hurt a lot. It's almost Valentine's and you don't have a functional relationship. It's okay. God loves you. The right person will come along. Wait on the Lord, they say. All right. So how do you understand, or how do you answer sentence completion questions? All right. First, you have to read the sentences, or in other words, you have to read the question. This is actually very standard in the IELTS listening section. Whatever question you're dealing with, the best course of action is to always start with the question. Typically, before an audio clip is played, you will be given time to read the questions. You're going to hear someone say, before you hear the recording, you now have some time to read questions 1 to 10. So take advantage of that. So during the time given to you, typically 30 seconds, read the sentences, the incomplete sentences, and then look at the blanks. Okay? So remember, this is sentence completion. There are missing words. Look at the blanks, the location of the missing piece of information. And you want to look at the words before and after the blank. Why? It helps you predict what kind of word is missing. The fact that you can predict what kind of word is missing is already a big help. Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? Is it an adverb? Is it a place? Is it a person? Is it a number? So look at the blank so that before the recording plays, you already have an idea of what you are supposed to be listening for. Okay, so that's pretty much step number 3. You will identify missing info. Now, while you are reading the questions, also consider the possibility of how the speaker might paraphrase information or what synonyms the speaker might use. So maybe the answer is actually beautiful, but in the question, maybe the examiner is using a word like pretty. So take note of synonyms. And when we say paraphrasing, it could be a change in the order of words. Maybe in your question, the order of the ideas are Marlone wrote the book, but in the recording, the speaker will say the book was written by Marlone. So obviously, there will be missing information with a sentence completion question. Right now, when I'm theory crafting with you, it's like I don't have missing information there, but that's just me trying to relay the idea of synonyms and paraphrasing to all of you. An underrated piece of advice is thinking of the word limit. Because even if you get the answer right, if you violate the word limit, then your answer is automatically wrong. Even if your answer makes sense, if you violate the word limit, your answer is still wrong. So always abide the rules written on the test booklet, or for the case of the computer delivered exam, follow instructions. And I guess the most challenging part about sentence completion, unlike other questions in the listening section, you have to be mindful of the rules of English grammar. In other questions, you simply answer in verbatim, that's it. But in sentence completion questions, yes, for the most part, we answer in verbatim, but sometimes we have to be mindful. We are sometimes required, not all the time, just sometimes required to change the form of the word in order to make the sentence grammatically correct. This does not happen all the time. It does happen, and it's good to be prepared for the cases where it happens so that you can still get 1 point for this type of question. So for our practice set, we are going to use authentic material, IELTS material from the British Council. So this is from their website. So reference is on the screen. If you want to secure a copy of the material that I'm using for today's class, just visit the British Council website. So I'm going to play a recording, guys. I'm going to play a recording. And I want you to try to answer the question that you see on the screen. But of course, as I've discussed in the actual exam, you are given time to read the question first. So let's read it. Complete the sentence below. Write no more than 2 words for your answer. Okay, so that's the instruction. We cannot use no more than 2 words. Okay, so we have a good question here from Jack. If it says no more than 2 words or a number, normally the instruction is and or a number. So normally it's like this. There's a slash, and or a number. So that means, let's say you wrote, let me share my whiteboard. That's a good question. If you wrote an answer like this, 1, 3, that's already considered as 2 words. Like it counts. So basically it's like two characters. Well, not characters because that would be T and R. That's 2 characters. But bottom line, this counts as 1 word. Even though you wrote it in numerical form, this counts as another word. So that's it. You already meet the 2-word limit. That's if that happens. Write no more than 3 words and or a number. That's it. That's the maximum. That's the maximum. So I hope I was able to answer Jack's question. So even if it says and or a number, at the end of the day, you know, you're going to use words to to discuss numbers. Maybe you're thinking, I'm using a symbol. So technically, it doesn't count as a word. Well, when you talk, it's still a word, right? So it counts to the word limit. Okay, so good question. Thank you so much. Writing dates, we can talk about that later. Just remind me about it. We can bring it up. I think it's more important first to get the whole sentence completion issue out of the way, because I believe here at IFNG, there are already a lot of listening lectures that discussed how to write dates, but I will be more than happy to answer your question. Let's prioritize the topic first. And once we're done with it, we will go back to your question. Don't be afraid to ask me that question again, okay? So going back, for sentence completion questions, okay, so here's our instruction. we can write no more than 2 words. Like that's the maximum. We can only use 2 words. All right. So the question is, students must follow blank to prevent accidents in the lab. Students must follow blank to prevent accidents in the lab. So let's analyze that question. If the speaker will use synonyms and paraphrasing, maybe the speaker might say pupils, people, people on campus. Then the word follow could be replaced by the word obey, observe, abide. And then this is the most crucial thing. What do people follow? Right? People follow leaders, right? Follow the teacher, follow the instructor, follow the professor, follow guidelines, follow rules, follow laws. So basically what we're doing is even before the recording starts, we're already trying to figure out what kind of word we're looking for. Bottom line, we're looking for a noun that the students must follow in order to prevent accidents in the lab. So we're going to listen to the recording for this. Okay. Give me a few seconds here, guys. Recording should be here somewhere. Okay, found it. So I'm going to share my sounds with you. I think I'm doing that. Sharing sound. Okay, let's listen to this. I'm going to skip to the part where we can hear the answers right away so that we don't kill time.
Questions 20.
Right, here we go. So guys, again, listen and try to answer the question, all right? I would encourage you to take notes. Try to apply what I told you, right? So I pretty much helped you with the first steps, right? Analyzing the question, looking at the gap. So now let's listen for the answer.
1 to 25.
Now, Vincent and Tessa, I've asked the two of you to come and see me because I'm a bit concerned after that incident in the science lab last week. I realize that neither of you have had much experience in a laboratory before.
Well, we mostly just studied theory at high school.
And we rarely got the opportunity to carry out any experiments.
Fair enough, but we must all abide by certain safety procedures. The last thing we want is for one of our students to get hurt.
Okay. So, what do you think is the answer to this question, guys? So, for people in Zoom right now, feel free to type your answer. Okay. Jeff says safety procedures. That sounds like a logical answer. Same goes with Air. What a beautiful name, Air. What are you an heir to? to a mansion? Lynette. Okay, so everybody seems to be on the same page. We all answered safety procedures. Let's double check. Is that the correct answer? Okay, let's look at the transcript. Now, bear in mind, guys, in the actual exam, there are no transcripts. So I'm just putting it here to help us double check if you did hear the right thing. And number two, later as we go on with our lecture, I will reveal the benefit of checking what you heard. If you're going to read transcripts, it will help you also become a better listener. And I'll explain how later. So here it says, according to the professor, fair enough, but we must all abide by certain safety procedures. So like I told you guys, right? The professor did not really use the exact word follow. Instead, the professor used a synonym, which is abide. So there you go. That's what I was talking about earlier. And I demonstrated it to you because later I'm going to make you do this on your own. Okay? So we must abide safety procedures. Very good. It was easy, no? So, sir, I hope all the questions in the IELTS exam are like that. Yeah. You wish. You wish. It's okay. It's okay to wish. All right. Next question. Same instruction. We can only use a maximum of 2 words for our answer. The students have not been using blank while in the lab. Once again, students could be replaced by any word like people on campus, individuals, pupils, have not been using. Using, we can replace it with the word utilizing, right? It also depends on what kind of object this is. So now take note. We have a clue already. We have a clue. what do we use? What do we use? So basically, object. So the answer to this question will be an object. Okay, Sir Jeff has a valid question. Sir, what if I said safety procedure and not safety procedures? You violated the guideline earlier, which is to answer in verbatim. The speaker clearly pronounced it in plural form. So it's really important to say safety procedures. Safety procedure will be considered wrong. So that's what I was saying earlier about the importance of answering in verbatim. What we hear is what we write. Okay? So yeah. So this question we entertained because it's related to sentence completion. For the non-sentence completion questions, we will accommodate them, but maybe later. Okay, later. So thank you so much for your question, Sir Jeff. I hope I answered it. So going back, with this particular question, we are looking for an object. The object that the students were not using. So that's our clue. We need to hear the speakers mention an object that the students are not using while they're in the lab, the laboratory. Okay. So let's listen to our speakers once more. So let's fast forward a bit. Okay, to 124. 1 minute and 24 seconds. Okay, let's listen once more.
Safe place. And actually, accidents can easily be prevented if you just think about what you're doing at all times.
It sounds simple enough.
It is if you always use good judgment, observe safety rules, and follow directions.
We've read the rules on the poster inside the lab.
And yet last week you were seen working in the lab without eye protection.
What do you mean? I was wearing my glasses.
Prescription glasses are not safety glasses.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think is the answer to this question? Feel free to type your answers again in our chat. Okay. Wow, Miss Jen Sereno, you're so fast. So easy. Good job. People are saying eye protection. Let's practice typing in all caps, guys. I know you're not angry. But remember, in the IELTS exam, we have to answer in all caps. Come on, let's practice that. Practice makes perfect. You can do that in the next question. But moving forward, let's type in all caps so that you get used to it, right? Oh, galit si Lineto. Protection. The last two letters became lowercase. Protection. The last two syllables became somewhat weaker than the first syllables. Now, in sentence completion questions, it is possible that there are two acceptable answers. Yes, Jen, it's recommended both in the paper delivered and computer-based exam. But again, only for the listening section and the reading section. Do not type or write in all caps in the writing section if you're taking the computer-delivered exam, okay? So let me reiterate that. All caps is fine in the listening and reading section. Don't do it in the writing section, especially if you're taking the computer-delivered version of the exam. I hope I answer your question, Jen. So, as I was saying, sometimes in sentence completion questions, there are multiple answers that are acceptable. And in this case, there are two acceptable answers. Eye protection and even the word safety glasses is acceptable. You don't have to write both of them. You just need to write one of them. Okay, let's review what the speaker said. Okay, let's review what they said to understand why the word safety glasses is also acceptable or why the answer safety glasses is also acceptable. Okay, so here we see what the professor said. He opens, and actually accidents can easily be prevented if you just think about what you're doing at all times. And then Tessa says, it sounds simple. You can hear the sound of annoyance in the professor, right? It's like he's annoyed with these two students. It is if you just observe good judgment, observe safety rules, and follow directions. And then Vincent said, we've read the rules on a poster inside the lab. The professor said, in a very authoritative manner, and yet last week, you were seen working in the lab without eye protection. So we don't see the words have not been using, but the idea without, working without, that means you're doing something and you're not using this, that conveys the same idea from the question. And the answer is eye protection. Now, why is safety glasses also acceptable? Tessa challenged the professor. No. I was wearing my glasses. And then the professor said, no, you are wearing prescription glasses, not safety glasses. So it's like the professor is like referring to safety glasses as a form of eye protection. Okay, so that's why those two answers are acceptable. Overall, those who type the answer, good job. So that tells me so much about your ability to hear clearly. Good on you. Good on you. All right. Now, let's look at this next question. Again, same instruction. You can only use a maximum of 2 words as your answer. Students cannot eat or drink until cleanup is finished and they have blanked their hands with soap and hot water. I think a lot of you already have a clue on what the answer is, right? Even without hearing the recording. So we're looking for an action word, but we don't assume. We don't assume because at the end of the day, we have to make sure, right? What if in the recording it says they have cut off their hands? you cut off your hands. Right? They have boiled their hands, right? So this is actually really good, right? Even without the recording, we already have an idea about the missing word. We're looking for an action word, and that's why it's really imperative to read the question. Yeah, boiled, right? They have painted their hands. Oh, diba? Oh, see? Oh, they have scratched their hands with soap and hot water. Right? Let's listen to our recording, okay? So that would be around the 1 minute and the 2 minute mark. Okay. Let me fast forward a bit.
You more drink while
Oops. So let's listen to the speakers once more.
never eat or drink while in the laboratory.
What? Not even water?
Not even water. At least not until after cleanup. Then be sure to wash your hands thoroughly with soap and hot water and dry them on a clean towel first.
Water? Water? Water without the R. What's the answer, guys? Type it in chat. This is the confirmation now. You already heard the speakers. What is the answer? So I think you're noticing something here. Notice something? Are you noticing something? You're getting the answer right, but did you notice anything? Good job, Kathleen. Jen, yeah, good job. Good job, Patricia. Ren. All right, hello. Good job. Good job. Correct answers across the board. Thank you, Patricia. Okay, so let's review the transcript. Okay? And another thing, never eat or drink. That's your clue. So in the IELTS exam, when you hear words in the recording that are used in the question that is indicative that the answer is about to be mentioned, it's also worth remembering that questions and answers appear in the same order. The answer to question number 1 will always be mentioned before question number 2, and so on and so forth. Now, one thing that I want to point out is this. At least not until after cleanup, then be sure to wash your hands. To wash your hands. Having said that, I agree with Sir Jeff. There is another correct answer apart from washed. You can use to wash. That's also acceptable, but people who said washed, it is also a correct answer. Why? The answer makes the sentence grammatically correct. The people who answered washed, they followed the rules of the present perfect tense. When you see have, it will be followed not by the base form of the verb, but by the past participle of the verb. All right? So those are the two acceptable answers here. To wash and washed. Okay, good job. For people who change the spelling, this is an example of sometimes you have to change the form of the word in order to make the sentence grammatically correct. Okay? Okay, here's another one. Again, a maximum of 2 words for our answer. Tessa needs to blank her hair back to avoid danger when she is working with a naked flame or chemicals. Oh, guys, think about that. During Valentine's, the only thing naked is the naked flame. What? Just kidding. Sir, I don't want naked flame. What do you want? I want eternal flame. Why would you want eternal flame? Because, sir, I'm really getting lonely. Totally understandable. Totally understandable. Because, again, love month is coming. So it's very much understandable that you want some, loving here, loving there. But anyway, let's listen to our recording. Okay? Let's check what is this answer that we're looking for now. If you look at the blank, before it is the word to. Tessa needs to blank. Typically, you use the word to refer to receivers. For example, I'm giving my gift to you. So receiver of something. We also use the word to talk about places, right? I'm going to SM North, I'm going to Trinoma. But another common use of the word to is to form an infinitive. An infinitive, it's a combination of the word to plus the base form of the verb. Now, looking at the nature of our incomplete sentence here, it suggests that we are actually looking for not a place, not a noun, but a verb. Tessa needs to blank her hair. She's going to do something with her hair. Maybe to burn? Because we're talking about flame. Do you think Tessa needs to burn her hair? Maybe she's so stubborn, the professor is already getting annoyed with her. Let's burn the hair of this woman. No? Okay, let's listen to the recording once more.
And Tessa, your hair should be tied back when you're in the lab.
It's not that long.
Still, it poses a hazard when you're working with chemicals or a naked flame.
Okay, what do you think is the answer, guys? Wow. You are all good. You're so fast. Wow, amazing, amazing. Amazing, guys. Okay. All right, all right. Good job, guys. Okay. So we have a lot of people saying tie, but we also have a few people saying tie back or tied back. Okay. So what do you think is the answer? Anyone else who wants to weigh in? Anyone else who wants to weigh in? Nobody anymore? We good? We good? All right. So I will reveal the answer. It's actually what? Tie. Why not tied? Sir, you said answer in verbatim. The speaker said tied. But remember what I told you. You have to make the answer what? Grammatically correct. Or in other words, the answer has to make the sentence grammatically correct. If I put tied here, Tessa needs to tied. That is a violation of the rules of English grammar. Because you want to partner the word to with the base form of the verb. To say to tied will make the sentence grammatically wrong. So instead of saying tied, we have to remove the D and we say to tie. Now, why can we not say tie back? The word back is already in the question. So this is another thing that we have to remember with the listening exam. If something is already mentioned in the question, you don't need to say it anymore. This happens a lot with units and measurements. For example, when I do practice tests at Niner, I see some students who are guilty of this. What they do is, let's say the question is blank inches. Blank inches. The student will end up answering 45 inches, forgetting that the word inch or the unit of measurement is already in the question. So now your answer sounds like it's repeating the measurement, 45 inches. If the question already contains the word, that should be part of the answer. You don't need to write it anymore. If there's already a percentage sign and the answer is 12%, don't write percentage sign anymore. Don't write the word percent anymore. That will be redundant, okay? So avoid that. When do you write these words? When the words are not part of the question. If the word back is not present in the question, then we can include it, tie back. If units and measurements are not in the question, then we include them in our answer. So I hope that's clear. So again, if you wrote tied, it means that you have good hearing, but you did not observe the rules of grammar. That's okay. That's one half of the battle. If you have good hearing, good for you, right? We just need to fix some of your mindsets when it comes to the IELTS listening section, right? Okay? What matters is your hearing is good. Even if your knowledge of grammar is good, if you cannot hear well, you are in trouble with the listening section. It is a listening section. You need your sense of hearing. Okay, so remember, that's what you do. Be careful with naked flames. Okay, we tie our hair back. Remember, naked flame, not eternal flame.
Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Am I only dreaming? Is this burning
That's MYNG with
an
eternal flame.
eternal flame? I believe.
So guys, not naked flame. What you need is eternal flame. Okay? All right, next question. Again, a maximum of 2 words for your answer. Students must wear long sleeves and shoes made of blank in the lab. Okay? So let's look at these. All right? Keywords, students must wear. So when we say paraphrasing, the word wear, the speaker might use different forms of it. Worn, wearing. Listen for that. All right? We can also say put on, other words or collocations that are used with outfits and clothing. Sleeves, shoes, made of. Made of. This is the most important part, made of. The word before the blank. What we're looking for is a word that tells us the material used to make the shoes in this question. The material, right? What material is the shoes made of? That's what you want to anticipate. That's what you want to take note of. Okay, let's listen to our recording once more. Skip to 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Right, let's listen. Oops. Butterfingers. Here we go.
Now, Vincent, last week you wore a t-shirt and trainers in the lab. The rules clearly state that long-sleeved shirts and leather shoes must be worn.
Oh, yes, I remember. I was late getting back from sports practice and I didn't have time to change.
Well, it mustn't happen again.
Okay, I'll see that it doesn't.
Good.
Okay. So what do you think is the answer, guys? Wow. You guys are getting pretty good, huh? Wow. You are all fast, huh? Wow, wow, wow. Oh, leather. All right, all right. So let's double check. What is the correct answer? It is indeed leather. That is the correct answer. So why is that the correct answer? So let's review the transcript. Now, Vincent, last week, you wore a t-shirt and trainers in the lab. The rules clearly state that long sleeves, so that's your keyword. Oh, I heard long sleeves. The answer is about to be mentioned. That long sleeve shirts and leather shoes must be worn. Leather shoes. We don't hear the word made of. We don't hear the word material. What we do know is the word leather is used before the word shoes. So the relationship is adjective followed by the noun. And normally, the word that comes before it describes what the noun is made of. So that's why the answer is leather. Good job, guys. Good job. Okay. So now we're getting the hang of it. We're getting the hang of it. Okay, I'm not going to help you anymore for our second practice set. You're going to apply what you learned on your own. Okay, I think this is a very brilliant idea. So the best way to master a strategy is to use it over and over again. Do you agree? Do you agree with that?
You will
With
hear a
that statement that, hey, if I want to become really good at something, I need to do it over and over again. So the material that we will use comes from a Cambridge book. Again, the reference is on the screen. So this is from the official Cambridge Guide to IELTS Students book with answers with DVD-ROM. Yeah, that's the entire name of that book. So when it comes to practicing for the IELTS, you want to use official materials. It's very credible. Okay. So again, the instruction, maximum of 2 words for your answer. The question is, the competition is judged by blank. Okay, so you know what to do. I'll leave you at that. Okay, you have to figure it out. So I'm going to play the recording now. Remember, listen and focus. Here we go. Let me just make sure that you guys can hear it. Okay, here we go.
Can you
tell me a bit about how the competition is judged and what the prizes are?
Yes, of course. Well, once we have all the entries, I send them to all the judges. Our competition is quite popular, so we are lucky to be able to use famous authors who are very interested in the competition.
That's fantastic. It's great to know that someone famous will be reading my story.
Okay, what do you think is the answer, guys? Jenny and Marivic, you're very fast. Isa and Ren coming in at third and fourth. Okay, Jem. Okay, so far everybody's seeing famous authors. All right. Let's see if you got the answer right. Okay, good job, guys. Very good, very good. So the keyword there is the word judges, of course, because we hear the word judges. So that's like a synonym or a paraphrased version of the word judged by. When we say judged by, the word by is very common in the passive voice of the verb. It introduces the doer of the action. So basically, before we heard the recording, we should have figured out that we are looking for a person or people. So the answer will be a person or people. And then as we continue listening to the speakers, we find out that the word famous authors are aligned with this whole idea. Our competition is quite popular, so we are lucky to be able to use famous authors who are very interested in the competition. Now, if you just listen to that alone, maybe you're still a little bit skeptical, but by the time the woman said, it's great to know that someone famous will be reading my story, reading test, not a listening test. But later I will discuss again the benefit of reading transcripts. So for people who answered famous authors, good for you guys, good for you. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Okay, so this is our question. Again, a maximum of 2 words for our answer. Blank through the entries takes a long time. All right, go figure it out. I'm going to play the recording.
Yes, that's right. It takes them quite a while to read through the entries, but eventually they decide on the top 5 stories.
I see. And what happens then?
Well, they will be published online so everyone can read them.
Okay. What do you think is the answer, guys? So far, only one person said something. Anyone else who wants to join in? What do you think is the answer? Do you want me to play the recording again? Only 2 people? Uy, Isa, are you sure? What if Jenny's wrong? Wow, for the first time, you guys are like really quiet. Okay, so I'm going to let you hear it again. I'm going to let you hear it again. But in the actual exam, remember, in the actual exam, what happens? Is the recording played twice or is it played once? Is it going to be played once or twice? Yeah, it's only going to be played once. Okay, but of course, no problem. And what we're going to do today, the whole rewinding thing, I'll also explain the benefit of that. Okay, so let's rewind a bit.
That long t-shirt and...
Wrong recording. Sorry about that. Let me close that so that it doesn't bother us. Don't worry, guys. I'm not upset. It's okay. Later, I will also explain the benefit of doing this, the whole rewind thing. We don't want to make a habit of it, but it also has benefits. Okay, so let's just make sure that other people are muted so that the other participants in the meeting will be able to hear the audio clearly. One thing that this teaches you is that you have to always be prepared. Okay? You have to be prepared because you don't know when the answer will be mentioned. I think the first practice set, you got used to hearing the answer always toward the end. But in the listening section, you never know when the answer will be mentioned. So, just what they say in boxing, protect yourself at all times. With the listening exam, you have to be ready at all times. The answer will be mentioned at any given moment. Here we go.
someone famous will be reading my story.
Yes, that's right. It takes them quite a while to read through the entries, but eventually they decide on the top 5 stories.
I see. And what happens then?
Well, they will be published online so everyone can read them.
Okay, what do you think is the answer? Okay. All right. Jenny has really, conviction, Jenny is like, no, it's reading all the way, sir. I'm going all in, I'm committed to this relationship with reading. It's okay, Jenny. It's okay, You're the first person to say the correct answer. It's you. It's you. Okay, remember that. That's really good. It's you.
It's you. It's always you. Met a lot of people, but nobody feels like you. So please don't break my heart. Don't.
It's you. It's always you. The answer is Jenny actually got it right. Good job, Jenny, reading. Now, let's listen to what the man said. Okay, actually, let's read it. Not just listen, read it, because we already heard it. It takes them quite a while to read through the entries. Now, let's look at the keywords, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the keywords. So this is the first time that people got the answer wrong. Okay? Like, a lot of people got it wrong. And it's okay. One thing that I want to tell you guys is mistakes are part of learning. And as an IELTS trainer, sometimes it breaks my heart to see people give up, lose heart, be discouraged when they make mistakes. I think if that's your mindset with any exam, you're going to have a hard time getting the score that you want. I want you to know that making mistakes is actually normal. You have to embrace them. You have to learn from them so that you can move past them. The greatest lessons come from mistakes. Okay? Look at you. Right? You're in a better relationship now. Why? Because you made the wrong choice before. Right? Oh, look at you now. You know how to interact with your coworkers. Why? Because you made mistakes before. When you were a new nurse, you always says, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Oh, now, no. I'm putting my foot down, okay? I've been working for 16 hours. You're not going to make me work for 8 hours more. Oh, now you learn. Right? That's how the life of a healthcare professional is. Right? When you were the junior, you were being bullied, right? Oh. But my personal request to all the healthcare professionals here who are like unit managers, can we please end this cycle of hazing and punishing the juniors? It's not a healthy thing to do, right? I mean, if you're a junior once and you were maltreated by your seniors, end the cycle, be the better person, treat your incoming juniors the right way. Because all you're doing is just fostering this culture of toxicity. Don't make the healthcare industry a fraternity, all right? Because I've been in a fraternity and that's the culture. You beat me up, I beat up the other guy. It's an endless cycle. That's how people end up dead, or that's how people quit. Not that I'm saying I killed anyone, okay? I'm on records, okay? I use my right to protect myself from self-incrimination. All right? But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's an endless cycle. That's what's happening. Be the better person. Be the senior that your seniors weren't to you. And I promise you, not only will your unit be a better place, the whole world in general will be a better place. Okay? Now going back, why was Jenny right? Sir Jeff answered read. If anything, Sir Jeff followed your advice, which is to answer in verbatim. Shouldn't we reward Sir Jeff? But we're forgetting one thing. When it comes to sentence completion, we have to take grammar into account. The problem is, the answer is the first word. If we use the word read, the sentence will not sound right. Read through the entries takes a long time. The word read cannot function well in this sentence in terms of the rules of English grammar because it's an action word. Now, what do you do to an action word in order to make it a noun? You turn it into an infinitive or a gerund. You can actually use the answers to read. That's one option. To read through the entries takes a long time. That's one answer acceptable. This is also something that Sir Jeff pointed out earlier. You can say to read. To read through the entries takes a long time. Or you can say reading through the entries takes a long time. So that's why we have to change the spelling of the word sometimes. Thankfully, this doesn't happen a lot in the IELTS exam. But like I said, We want to prepare you for every possible scenario. Now, sir, I cannot see the word quite a while in the question. No, it's actually there. Quite a while means a long time. So those are your clues. Okay, so congratulations, Jenny. Nasaan na si Johnny? If you if you know the reference to that joke, you're either old or you're a big OG Korean novela fan. Okay. Speaking of Korean novelas, can you give me recommendations of good Korean dramas, guys? Anybody? No? What's your favorite Korean drama? Wala po ba pag-cash, sir? What do you mean? You want a monetary reward for getting the answer, right? The reward is growth. What are you doing, Jenny? Sir Jeff, Jenny's taking advantage of me. Can we remove her from the meeting? No, just kidding. Sige, sumbong kita kay Sir Jeff. Aren't you like from the telenovela? I think that's Stairway to Heaven, no, Jenny? They just keep saying the name Jenny and Johnny all over again. Oh. Anyway, let's keep moving through the other questions. All right. So here's the next one. Again, a maximum of 2 words for your answer. The top story will be chosen by the blank. Okay. So again, you guys have to figure this one out. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I already showed you the strategy. You're on your own. I'm going to play the recording. Okay. So let me just put it at the right part of the player. 5 minutes. Okay, here we go.
And do all the top 5 stories get prizes?
No, it's just the top story and the runner-up.
So how is the top story decided?
Well, once the top 5 stories are available, it will be the public who will vote for their favourite story.
Right, I see. So I need to get all my friends to vote for me then.
All right, what do you think is the answer, guys? Oh, galing, oh. All right. Wow. Wow. Okay. Be careful. Do not remove the letter L in your answer. If you remove the letter L, we're going to have a problem. Stay there. Keep it that way. Okay, the answer is public. All right, the answer is public. So the top story will be chosen by. So the woman says, how is the top story decided? We don't hear the word chosen. We don't hear the word chosen. So again, paraphrasing comes into play. How is the top story decided? According to the man, once the top 5 stories are available, it will be the public who will vote for their favorite story. Now, I saw one person answering the public. Okay, let's see if you're actually listening. Why is public correct, but the public is wrong? Why is the public wrong? We're not going to identify who gave the wrong answer. Everybody makes mistakes. We're here to learn. Let's embrace them. Why is the public wrong? If you were actually listening, very good, Jenny. Galing talaga ni Jenny. Ang galing talaga, Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, and even Ren agrees to that, right? The problem is the word the is already in the question. And so far, what have we learned? If the question is already in the, if the word is already in the question, do not write it anymore. Jenny, ikaw talaga. Stairway to Heaven. No? Really so good. You know, you're so fast. You know, everybody is like here on earth and you are in the heavens. You're so good.
Madama, langit ka, lupa ako, hanggang tanaw na lang ba tayo?
You're so good, Jenny. You're so up there. We're all down here. You're looking at us from your pedestal in heaven. You're so good. Good job, Jenny. Okay. So let's continue, all right? Next. Okay, the first prize is a place at a writer's workshop in blank. Okay. Again, I already taught you the strategy. For you to improve, you have to do this on your own. Now, let's listen to the recording once more.
Yes, that's a good idea.
And what is the prize?
Well, the runner-up gets a prize of £300, but the winner gets a trip to Spain to attend a workshop for writers.
Wow, that's brilliant. I'd better get writing straight away.
Yes. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, what do you think is the answer? All right. Are you sure? Are you sure that's the correct answer? Guys, remember, do not remove the S. When you remove the S, it hurts. Okay, guys, make sure that you wrote the correct answer. Do not remove the S. If you remove the S, what happens? It hurts. Don't do it, guys. Who is hurting right now? Are you hurting right now? It's okay, Miss Gladys. We were happy to have you here. Stay safe in New York. And praise the Lord that your prayers have been answered. Okay? So, okay, while Miss Gladys is leaving, you know, guys, this is a common denominator. People always leave us behind. So that's why we always get hurt. So remember with your answer, do not remove the S because it will hurt so bad.
I got way too much time to be this hurt. Somebody help, it's getting worse. What do you do with a broken heart? Once the light fades, everything is dark. Way too much whiskey in my blood. I feel my body get.
And then some people are probably watching this lecture. I just wanted to study. I just want to study. Why is he playing that song? So don't remove the S because the answer to the question is not pain, it's pain. Right? The dead giveaway there is the preposition in. The presence of the word in tells you that what comes after it is a noun, and that noun is a name of a place. So, you just want to pass the IELTS. I know, GB. I know. But somehow pain finds its way. All right. So there you go. So what did the speaker say? The winner gets a trip to Spain to attend a workshop for writers. If you wrote 300 pounds as your answer, that will be wrong because the 300 pounds is the price of the runner-up. We want to find out the price of the top story, which is first prize. Okay, good job, everybody. So I hope that you were enjoying that. I hope that you were learning it. Now, at its core, that's the technique to sentence completion. But it gets really hard. And we are about to talk about why it gets hard and how you can become better at understanding everything in the IELTS listening exam. Okay? To become better, in order to improve your listening skills, I highly recommend that you watch a lot of English programs and movies. And maybe some of you, you're fascinated and you're in love with BTS and K-dramas. Maybe some of you are busy watching vlogs of Kong TV. I got no problem with that. We need to have fun every now and then. But you have to learn to allot time for your test preparation. If you entertain yourself too much, if you're doing too much leisure activities, then all you're doing is setting yourself up for disappointment. A lot of people that I hear that feel bad about the IELTS, these are the people that did not actually prepare a lot for the exam. That's the truth. That's the painful truth. But for me, that's also the good kind of truth. Why? If you got a bad score in the IELTS exam because you did not prepare, it simply means that you can get a good score had you made time for it. Most people who are sad, they're forgetting that you had a large part in your problem, especially with the IELTS, but at the same time, you have the power to change it. The power is in you. All you have to do is tap into that power. Make time for the test. Even when you're trying to entertain yourself, I suggest you do something that's aligned to it. After all, when you're done with the IELTS, you can go back to your regular routine. So maybe if you're watching K-dramas for 1 to 2 hours, maybe we can spend 1 hour of that watching an English program or movie instead. Why? One of the barriers to listening is accent. In the Philippines, we are very familiar with the North American accent. This is the accent that people in the US and Canada have. Why are we so familiar with this? Because we grew up watching a lot of Hollywood films, right? A lot of you are familiar with the best movies from Disney, from Aladdin, Pocahontas, you have Toy Story 1, 2, 3, and even 4, you have Cars, and then you also have the Marvel movies. A lot of the actors and actresses in these films have a North American accent. Since we grew up with these films, we can easily understand the North American accent. And from time to time, there are speakers with a North American accent in the IELTS. But what dominates the exam is the presence of people with a what accent? I'm sure by now you know what accent is dominant in the IELTS exam. Type it in chat. What accent is dominant in the IELTS exam? Yes, very good, Kathleen. British. Okay. What is the characteristic of the British accent? It's almost similar to the American accent, but the most important or most noticeable difference is the glottal stop. Sometimes the letter T's and the letter R's disappear when people with a British accent are using them. In other words, the T and the R sound is not as pronounced when you are listening to a person with a British accent. So for example, Filipinos, how do Filipinos talk? Hard jaw drop, water. Can you give me a glass of water? That's how Filipinos would talk. We syllabicate. But Americans, it's going to be a little bit relaxed, but the letter R is still pronounced. Water, water. Can you give me a glass of water? Water. But people with a British accent, water, water. The letter A, or rather the letter R, is not as pronounced. Another good example is how they pronounce vowel sounds. Americans, pass, pass, pass. People with a UK accent or British accent, pause, pause, pause. So there's a difference between the vowel sounds as well. And the cool thing about the UK, it's actually similar to the Philippines where there's an array of accents, right? In the Philippines, we have accents of people from the Visayan region, people from Pampanga, people from, Zamboanga, they speak Chabacano. You have people from other parts of the country. Each region, each province, different accent. The same thing applies to the UK. So we have the general British accent that we are talking about, but there are still variations of that. So by watching a lot of English movies and programs that feature British actors, British celebrities, you will become more familiar with these accents, okay? Another benefit of watching English programs and movies is you learn to understand connected speech. We will touch on connected speech later, but let me introduce you to the most common, I would say common, but some people would say these are like pretty much the types of British accent, okay? So let's start off with the most difficult to understand, Scouse. Scouse, okay? Sir, what is Scouse accent? I cannot describe it, but you know what I can do? I can let you hear it for you to understand what it sounds like. Do you like that? I'm gonna make you hear Scouse. You know what? I don't want to culture shock you. Let's start with the easier one first. The easiest accent to understand is received pronunciation, okay? Received pronunciation, this is very comparable to the accent of the Queen. That's why it's also called the Queen's English. Remember that the Queen holds a very important position and role in the UK society and culture. She speaks for them. She also speaks to other leaders. So that's why when she talks, it has to be clearly understood. So even though the Queen has a British accent, you can easily understand it. So in my opinion, received pronunciation, typically you will hear it in listening part 1. Okay, let's listen to how Queen Elizabeth talks, okay? I challenge you to take notes and, just to see if you can understand what they're saying or what the speakers are saying. Okay, let's listen to Queen Elizabeth.
I'm speaking to you at what I know is an increasingly challenging time. a time of disruption in the life of our country, a disruption that has brought grief to some, financial difficulties to many, and enormous changes to the daily lives of us all. I want to thank everyone on the NHS frontline, as well as care workers and those carrying out essential roles, who selflessly continue their day-to-day duties outside the home in support of us all. I'm sure the nation will join me in assuring you that what you do is appreciated, and every hour of your hard work brings us closer to a return to more normal times. I also want to thank those of you who are staying at home, thereby helping to protect the vulnerable and sparing many families the pain already felt by those who have lost loved ones. Together we are tackling this disease, and I want to reassure you that if we remain united and resolute, then we will overcome it.
Were you able to understand that? It's pretty easy, right? You can probably visualize that the queen is not opening her mouth too much, but you can still understand what she's saying. Am I correct? We good? So that's like the easiest type of British accent to understand. So this list actually starts with the hardest and ends with the easiest. So we're starting with number 10. That's the easiest. Now let's go to the next kind of accent. So the names of these accents are actually indicative of places in the UK. Okay, places in the UK. So now let's listen to Cockney accent. So there's a lot of celebrities from the UK that have a Cockney accent, but I think you know this next person. She's very famous and she really sings well. Okay, let's listen to her talk.
The thing is, I was in her dressing room and I was like, there was only a little curtain separating us while she's having her makeup done, and I started like going, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I can do this, and she would have heard it all. And then she popped out, so I put on a brave face. But the second time I went out on a balcony and got on my hands and knees and cried. Literally bowing at the altar.
Did you understand the thing she said? Yes, Sir Jeff, you're correct. This is actually Adele. Now, my next question is, did you understand anything at all? You want to listen to it again? Let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time. You only understood balcony. She didn't even pronounce the L, balcony. Okay, I'm going to try to decipher what she said for you, okay?
The thing is, I was in her dressing room and I was...
Did you understand that? That was fast, no? Let's try that again. Let's try that again. One more time.
The thing is, I was in her dressing room and I...
You understood what she said? Jenny's like panicking. Sir, wait. I want to be part of this special moment. Ninzi, that's correct. The thing is, I was in a dressing room. So I only understood the thing. Okay, listen. Okay, remember what I said. Write that down. The thing is, I was in a dressing room. Listen. The thing
is, I was in a dressing room and I was...
You recognize dressing room now? One more time. Let's do that.
The thing is, I was in a dressing room and I...
You have a point, Sir Jeff, because she's talking fast. That's the Cockney accent, okay? Now, let's listen to the rest of it. All right? Let's listen to the rest of it. Right?
I was like, there was only a little curtain.
Curtain. You only understood little curtain. Little curtain. Oh, okay, I'll write down little curtain on my notepad. And I was like, there was only a little curtain. Yeah. So I want you guys to do what Ninzi did. If you cannot understand the accent, try to decipher it to the nearest possible truth. You may not get all of it right, but as long as it's close to the truth, you will be fine. Let's continue.
Separating us while she's having her makeup done, and I started...
Separating us. Separating us. Are you getting that? Separating us while she was getting her makeup done. Imagine that. No, not makeup dinner, makeup done. Let's listen to it again. Separating us while she was getting her makeup done. So fast, no? That's Cockney. One more time. Let's do that.
Separating us while she's having her makeup done, and I started.
Sir, I don't think I should take the IELTS. No, don't worry. Not everybody talks like that with a Cockney accent. Another example of a person with a Cockney accent, because we have to take into account maybe Adele. Adele is a little bit excited. Another example of a person with a Cockney accent. Are you familiar with Jason Statham, the transporter, the guy from the latest Fast and the Furious movie? Are we familiar with Jason Statham? He has a lot of hair. Plenty of hair, I would say. Lush hairline. Okay, so let's listen to Jason Statham. I'm guessing you can understand Jason Statham. All right.
Explosions, shootings.
That's Jimmy Fallon.
Like what you would want to expect.
Okay, now this is Statham.
But this one was serious. You actually almost died in this film.
Yeah, I got a close shave. I'll tell you what happened. We were... It wasn't a close shave. We was...
cut a vein?
I broke a nail. I snapped my shoelace. No, this was serious. I mean, we was filming on the edge of the dock, on the edge of the Black Sea.
Edge of the dock, the Black Sea. You see, that's the Cockney accent. So I think the difference is Jason is a little bit calm because he's in a, let's say, in a relaxed environment. And then Adele was like excited because she's talking to a friend. That's the Cockney accent, okay? Now, what about the Essex accent, okay? So the next celebrity that I will pull up, she's not really... Okay, so this is the Essex accent, right? Let's listen.
It was all a bit of a get up, really. I thought there is no way these people go through this kind of stuff. When I'd got in there, I realised that actually this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in the right headspace. And when I got there, I just thought, nah, this is not for me.
No.
I'm not.
Not the right headspace. Headspace. Notice how they say the word space. So you really need to know these little differences for you to understand what they're saying. Headspace. Headspace. Careful with that.
Not ashamed to admit it. It's hell in there. It's horror. You have to be a certain type of person to survive that. It's time to move on. It's time to go, right, I'm only good when I'm on fire. If I'm not on fire, what's the point?
Yeah.
I wasn't giving it 100%, and I thought this is not respectful to me, myself and I. But do you know what? It's all about fate in life.
Yeah.
You've got to trust the...
It's all about fate in life. That's actually, she's actually saying the word fate. Fate. Fate in life. The letter T just disappeared. So if you're writing down your notes, Faye, what's Faye? She was actually saying fate. Synonymous to destiny. F-A-T-E, Foxtrot, Alpha, Tango, Echo, fate. So yeah, that's the Essex accent. Now, if you were probably listening to classical music sometime in the late 90s or early 2000s, you may have heard of Charlotte Church. So she has a very operatic voice, okay? So we're going to listen to an interview of Charlotte Church, and this is what we call, or what they call, the Cardiff accent, all right? So let's listen to her. Okay, somebody type something. Good observation, Sir Jeff. They want us to take the IELTS, but they are the ones who are messing up English, huh? Let's listen to Charlotte Church, Cardiff accent.
Well, I started singing when I was 8 because my Auntie Caroline is also a singer, but she sings kind of rock and pop, and she kind of noticed that I had a voice.
But opera?
But then I went to singing lessons when I was 9.5. I begged my mum, please let me go. So I went to singing lessons, and then my voice just kind of, my singing teacher tried out all different styles with me, and I liked classical, and classical suited my voice best, so that's what I did.
You've been singing?
Okay, so that's the Cardiff accent, all right? Now, if you guys are familiar with One Direction, who's familiar with One Direction? Come on. One Direction, you gotta know them, right? So one of their members, Louis Tomlinson, he has what we call a Yorkshire accent.
What is a wall?
Okay, so let's listen to an interview of Louis. This is the Yorkshire accent, okay? Oops. Let's listen.
A good year, 18 months. What are you laughing at? My accent, yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Anyway, if I could speak, if that's all right, love. Right, honestly. Any more laughing?
Finality on.
Yeah. You know you'll get kicked out if you carry on. Hey.
He's getting mad because people are making fun of his accent. Okay. What makes the Yorkshire accent stand out? The letter T becomes an F. Remember how Louis pronounced the word months? He said months with an F. Months. I don't even know how he pulls it off. How do you follow the letter N with an F? Month. How do you do it without spit coming out of your mouth? I don't know. He also likes to use the word in it. So that's like a Yorkshire slang, all right? So this is the Yorkshire accent, all right? The next one, it's Brummie accent. We have Adrian Childs. I believe he is a very popular TV and radio personality in the UK. So this is the Brummie accent. Let's listen to it.
Could lead to.
That was a shocking moment. In a way, it was the second most shocking moment, though. The first came on the first day of filming when, for the first time ever, I was forced to use one of those apps which measure how much you were drinking. And the first day's filming, I went to see my football team. I had 4 pints of Guinness on a Saturday lunchtime, or Saturday morning, in fact, before this game. Then I went to a friend's 40th birthday party in London. I think I had a couple of beers. I had probably the best part of a bottle of wine and another beer. And, that was just a normal drinking for me. And it was when I added it up the following morning on camera, it was something like 33 units in one day. And I thought, I'm in trouble here. I just didn't realise how much I was drinking. And really, superficially, I had no bad effects from it. It didn't affect me. I was kind of too good at it. I don't get hangovers. I don't fight. I don't wake up with strangers. I don't drink during the day. I don't drink alone. All these things I didn't do. And I thought, well, I'm fine. But in fact, it was a very heavy drinker without realising it.
So, in my opinion, at least, that Brummie accent was easier to understand than Adele's Cockney accent, right? Do you agree? That Brummie accent, that was a lot easier to understand than the Cockney accent of Adele. So let's continue listening to these different types of accents. Okay, why? The purpose of this is to help you become more familiar with how people from the UK will pronounce words differently. Because if you cannot recognize and understand these words, then obviously in the IELTS listening exam, you'll be in trouble, okay? Now let's have Nadine Coyle. She is a popular celebrity also in the UK. She's a musician, in fact. Let's listen to her. This is what they call the Derry accent.
Yay! Yes, she took cupcakes to school for all of her friends, and she's very excited. So we have a busy time after this. All birthday celebrations. How old today? She's 6 today. 6 is she?
She's 6 today. So I'm sorry, did she just say they're having sex now? She's 6 today. She's talking about age. So you see how their vowel sounds differ from one another. So yeah, so that's what I mean by the differences with how these people talk, okay? We still have 2 more accents to go. Let's listen to Frankie Boyle. This is what we call the Glaswegian accent.
We're joined by...
So Frankie Boyle is a popular stand-up comedian in the UK.
Partly it's just a kind of thing of changing climate. I mean, I kind of always thought it was like a constantly evolving thing, before you got into it. But as you get into it, you sort of see it as those little blips where stuff comes through that's interesting or edgier or however you want to describe it. And then that closes up quite quickly. And the little blip I got in on the back of was actually off the back of The Office. So The Office came...
Quackly. He didn't say quickly, he said quackly. He didn't say bleeps, he said bleps. So this is actually very close to the Scottish accent, Glaswegian. So yes, you might hear a person with that kind of accent in your IELTS exam. And finally, the hardest accent to understand, Scouts, we have John Bishop. Let's listen to John Bishop.
The arenas in February. So
Yeah.
Huge audience.
Well, this is a catch-up. I was on the road when the first lockdown happened, and so we had the tour all planned, and it builds up from small sort of pub venues right up to arenas, and then we stopped, and then obviously didn't know when to reschedule it, and then I did Doctor Who, and that, you know, became part of the scheduling process. So I went back on the road at the end of August, and we kind of condensed a year into 6 months, so it's a bit bonkers. Like
6 months? Road. He doesn't say road, road. He doesn't say pub, pub. So yeah, these are the accents of people in the UK now. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but even in the IELTS exam, you don't only deal with the British accent. From time to time, you might end up dealing with the Australian accent. And there are like 3 to 4 types of it. So that's why it's really important to watch a lot of content, watch a lot of programs and movies where you can hear British speakers, because through exposure, you will get used to the way these people talk. You don't need to memorize all these accents, guys. Nobody's going to ask you if it's received pronunciation. Is it Derry? Is it Geordie? Nobody's going to ask you that in the IELTS exam. What matters is you understand what they're saying. Okay? So one thing I learned from our church, wag isa ulo, isa puso. You don't have to memorize things, just know them by heart. If you know something by heart, you can respond to a situation instinctively. You can rely on your muscle memory. All right? Earlier, I was talking about connected speech. So what is connected speech? This is partly the reason why sometimes we cannot understand native speakers. Because in the Philippines, what we tend to do, we syllabicate. Family, chocolate, comfortable, elementary, university. We syllabicate. Native speakers don't talk like that. They have speech patterns and sound groups that are very unique to them. Normally, we cannot understand them when they're using connected speech. So we have here examples of connected speech that are linked. Linked. So when does this happen? It happens when a consonant sound is immediately followed by a vowel sound. So for example, a Filipino might say an angry dog, an angry dog. But a native speaker will say an angry, Anna, an angry dog. See? That's why they sound faster. They do not syllabicate, they connect their speech. Filipinos will say, that is mine, that is mine, that is mine. Native speakers, that is mine, that is mine, that is mine versus that is mine. Filipinos will say, Tom opened the door. Tom opened the door. No, native speakers will say, Tom opened the door. Tom opened the door. That's why they sound faster, connected speech. So this is linking. Again, it happens when a consonant sound is immediately followed by a vowel sound. Another form of connected speech is what we call intrusion. Intrusion is when a sound in writing does not exist. In writing, it looks like it's not there. But when native speakers read that sentence, suddenly they add that sound. That's why it's called intrusion. So it looks like a J here, the J sound. But on the screen, this is actually a similar sound to the Y in yellow, the Y sound in yellow. So Filipinos will read this sentence right here, the first one. Filipinos will say, he explained it clearly. He explained it clearly. We're syllabicating, but no. Native speakers, they will add a Y in between the long E sound. So when does this happen? Intrusion with the Y sound, it happens when the long E sound, long E sound is followed by another vowel sound. Filipinos, he explained it. Native speakers, he explained it. He explained it. It's like there's a Y there. He explained it. He explained it. So you have to recognize this. We are listening. We are listening, okay? We, long E, we, smiling. We are, vowel sound. So instead of saying we are listening, native speakers will say we are. We are listening. We are listening. We are listening. Debbie organized the party. Long E, Debbie, Debbie, B, Debbie, O, organized. Native speakers will not say Debbie organized. Excuse me, they will say Debbie organized. There's a Y. Debbie organized the party. Debbie organized the party. Sometimes the intrusion is the W sound. When does this happen? Okay? When the U sound is followed by a vowel, U. The sound that you hear in do, to, go. So basically O sounds. Do, to, go, followed by another vowel sound. There will be a W in the middle of them. Filipinos, do all of that. Do all of that. Native speakers will say do all of that. Dual, dual. Dual, ni dual. Dual. Do all of that. Do all of that. Josh wants to eat now. To eat now. No, native speakers will say to eat. Josh wants to eat. To eat. To eat. To eat now. There's a W there. Don't go in there. Native speakers will say, don't go in there. Go in there. Go in. Go in. Go in. There's a W. You need to watch more English programs to understand connected speech. Okay, other forms of connected speech. This is more common among British speakers. They add an R before vowel sounds sometimes. Instead of saying he saw a sign, he saw a sign, he saw a sign, saw a sign, Sora, he saw a sign. Bow and arrow, no. Bow and arrow, bow and arrow. There's an R there. But British speakers are more successful with this than non-native speakers. Okay, so again, this is common among people with a British accent. So this is another form of intrusion with the letter R. And then we have elision. What is elision? Omission of a sound. A sound suddenly disappears. This is very common with words that end in A and D. A and D. Instead of saying stand by, native speakers will say stand by. Not stand by, stand by. Instead of saying sandwich, they say sandwich. Sandwich. The D is omitted. Instead of saying handkerchief, they say handkerchief. Handkerchief. This also happens sometimes with the letter T in the words must, next, and most. Instead of saying I must go, native speakers will say I must go. I must go. The letter T disappears. Next stage, the T disappears. Next stage, next stage, next stage. Most people, nope. Most people, most people. The T is omitted. Other elision forms, sometimes the letter H is not pronounced. Native speakers will not say get him, they will say get him, get him, get him. Instead of saying help his friend, help his friend, help his friend. Instead of saying couldn't have, they will say couldn't have, couldn't have, couldn't have. And because it's faster, you can barely hear the omission. Couldn't have. I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done that. Fast. The letter H disappears. And then there are cases where the unstressed schwa sound is not pronounced. Instead of saying interest, native speakers will say interest. Interest. Notice the letter E after T disappears. They do not say interest, interest, interest. They do not say similar, they say similar, similar, similar. They don't say different, different, different. They don't say tonight, tonight, tonight. And then we have what we call assimilation. So how is this different from linking? Linking, consonant sound followed by vowel sound. Let's connect them. An angry dog, Anna, Anna, an angry dog. Assimilation is blending sounds. Instead of saying don't you, they say don't you. Instead of saying what are you doing, they say what you doing. Instead of saying meet you, they say meet you. All right? They don't say did you, they say did you. Did you. How about would you? No, they say would you. Would you. Eh, ikaw, ginagamit mo lang ang would you kapag may pogi o maganda. Would you? No. That's not the proper way to use. Would you? Ang pogi, would you? Hindi ko siya kaya. Would you? You also have could you, okay? Could you? Not really could you. Could you? Could you? All right? So, it's really important to watch a lot of TV shows, programs, listen to podcasts, to talks that feature native speakers especially people with a British accent. It also helps to listen to speakers of the English language in different settings. Watch the news, listen to lectures, listen to conversations, listen to IELTS practice tests. The typical excuse of an IELTS test taker, he or she will say, "Sir, I'm too busy. I have work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I cannot answer a practice test anymore." You don't really need to answer practice tests. Just listen to the recordings so that your ear gets used to how English speakers talk in different settings. Remember, in the IELTS, the 4 parts of the listening section, you have English speakers in different settings. Just listen to them. You don't even need to answer questions right away. You're just training your ear to recognize English sounds. Now, when it comes to shows, here are my recommendations to help you improve your listening skills. Again, we don't have problems with the North American accent, so I'm not really going to recommend a lot of American shows here. Most of these have British actors and actresses, so you have the Harry Potter franchise, right? The way I look at it, excuse me, the way I look at it, the first installment of the series, that's like listening part 1. And then with each passing installment, it's like progressively getting harder. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, you can still understand them a bit, you know. Chamber of Secrets, I can still understand them. Prisoner of Azkaban, you have Order of the Phoenix, you know, it starts getting a little bit harder. So try watching Harry Potter. The IT Crowd, this is a very popular sitcom in the UK. It's about a group of people who obviously, as the title says, you know, they're working in the IT department of their company. We have Sherlock, and the main character here is played by Benedict Cumberbatch, also known as Doctor Strange in the Marvel Universe. You can also watch TED Talks of people with a British accent. Of course, it's always a good idea to watch BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. Jamie Oliver is a famous British cook, so you can listen to him too. Jimmy Carr is a famous comedian from the UK. My favorite YouTube channel right now, I don't know if you're familiar with this, Korean Englishman or Jolly. So watch those YouTube channels. The main speakers there, Josh and Ollie, they have a British accent as well. And then you can watch interviews of British celebrities to help you further improve your listening skills. Earlier, excuse me, while we were answering sentence completion questions, we were talking about the importance of, we were talking about the importance of reading transcripts. So it's not a reading test. There are no transcripts. Why should I read transcripts? What's the benefit? It helps you determine if you heard words correctly. Yeah, Sir Jeff, I agree with that. The Graham Norton show, that's also good too. Because Graham Norton has a British accent as well. So yeah, that's also a good addition, guys. You can find the Graham Norton show on YouTube. So going back, why do you need to read transcripts? This is how you check if you can actually hear accurately. So the first thing that you want to do, listen to a native speaker first. Listen or watch a native speaker talk first. Try to check if you can understand what he or she is saying. Afterwards, watch or listen to that person again to see if you will understand it better the second time around. If so, that means the first time around, you missed some important details. Okay? So watch and then repeat watching it or listening. Afterwards, if you're doing it on YouTube, open the captions. Now you listen with the captions activated. That way you can verify if you actually understood what the speakers said. And then after that, remove the captions and listen or watch without the captions. This is how you train yourself to understand different accents. At first, you're listening on your own. You listen to the second time around to check if you heard things correctly. Then to double check, you will read the transcript or the captions. Speaking of transcript, guys, let me see. I think I can do something for us here. Okay, let's listen to a recording. I'm going to give you the transcript of the recording as well. So let's share this in Zoom. So here's the transcript of what we're going to hear. Again, this is from the IELTS. Don't open it right away. Let's listen first. Afterwards.
The other thing I wanted to ask you was, did you find it hard studying with the open?
me just close that one first. So we're going to listen first, and then we're going to verify if we understood what we heard correctly, okay?
The other thing I wanted to ask you was, did you find it hard studying with the Open University?
You mean because you're studying on your own most of the time? Well, it took me a while to get used to it. I found I needed to maintain a high level of motivation because it's so different from school. There's no one saying, "Why haven't you written your assignment yet?" and that sort of thing.
Oh, dear.
You'll learn it, Paul. Another thing was that I got very good at time management because I had to fit time for studying round a full-time job.
Well, I'm hoping to change to working part-time, so that'll help.
What makes it easier is that the degree is made up of modules, so you can take time off between them if you need to. It isn't like a traditional 3 or 4 year course where you've got to do the whole thing of it in one go.
Oh, that's good, because I'd like to spend 6 months travelling next year.
Huh, it's all right for some. Then, even though you're mostly studying at home, remember you've got tutors to help you, and from time to time there are summer schools. They usually last a week. They're great because you meet all the other people struggling with the same things as you.
Oh.
I've made some really good friends that way.
Sounds good. So how do I apply?
Okay. So what you want to do is to double check if you heard it correctly. If I were you, I will open the transcript now and let's listen to that again. Let's compare if you really understood what you heard. Okay. So one more time, for all the students right now, try to read the transcript as we are listening to this recording.
The other thing I wanted to ask you was, did you find it hard studying with the Open University?
You mean because you're studying on your own most of the time? Well, it took me a while to get used to it. I found I needed to maintain a high level of motivation because it's so different from school. There's no one saying, "Why haven't you written your assignment yet?" and that sort of thing.
Oh, dear.
You'll learn it, Paul. Another thing was that I got very good at time management because I had to fit time for studying round a full-time job.
Well, I'm hoping to change to working part-time, so that'll help.
What makes it easier is that the degree is made up of modules, so you can take time off between them if you need to. It isn't like a traditional 3 or 4 year course where you've got to do the whole thing of it in one go.
Oh, that's good, because I'd like to spend 6 months travelling next year.
Huh, it's all right for some. Then, even though you're mostly studying at home, remember you've got tutors to help you, and from time to time there are summer schools. They usually last a week. They're great because you meet all the other people struggling with the same things as you.
Oh.
I've made some really good friends that way.
Sounds good. So how do I apply?
Okay, so this is an exercise that you want to do a lot in order to improve your listening skills. And that's, again, checking if you're hearing things accurately by reading transcripts. So where can you get transcripts? The IELTS provides practice tests with transcripts. You can purchase official IELTS materials. But if you don't want to spend on money, again, just watch videos on YouTube and then turn on captions in order to do this exercise regularly. And finally, it would be a great thing for you if you are able to speak to a native speaker frequently because it increases your exposure to accents, to connected speech, and of course, it also improves your relationship goals. If you cannot beat the IELTS, find someone who will petition you for spouse visa. Just kidding, just kidding. All right, you can do this. You can do this. You got this. You got this. All right. So I want to thank Slides Carnival, Unsplash, Pexels, IELTS, the British Council, and Cambridge for this presentation. So that concludes our discussion on sentence completion and how to become a better listener. So to summarize sentence completion, look at the gap to identify what kind of word is missing. And then don't forget to take grammar into consideration. To become a better listener, watch and listen to native speakers, speak to them, check what you are hearing by reading transcripts. Don't forget to study connected speech and to expose yourself to various accents, especially the various types of British accent and Australian accent, all right? So I did have a wonderful time here again. Thank you so much, IFNG, for inviting me. If you have questions, guys, you can find me on our official Facebook page. That's 9.09er official on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. And if you want to talk to me directly, it's sloan.viardo.73 on Facebook. We still have a few minutes left. If you have questions that I failed to answer earlier, feel free to ask them now before the meeting officially ends. Anybody with questions? So far, we've answered a lot of sentence completion questions. Oh, let's just go back to the question by one guest earlier. Her name is Anne. How to write dates. So to write dates, well, a lot of formats are acceptable. You can start with the day followed by the month. You can do it the other way where you start with the month followed by the day. But if there is a format provided in the questionnaire, follow the format. You cannot go wrong with that. But if there's no format given, you can write day, then month or day. It doesn't matter. What you want to avoid is writing dates like fractions. For example, the answer is March 4, and then you wrote 3/4. That can be easily interpreted as April 3. So avoid writing dates like fractions. That's my general tip on writing dates. So can I write on the test paper? Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, you can write on the test booklet for the paper delivered exam. Of course, you don't want to write on the monitor for the computer delivered exam. That's vandalism. Okay. Besides, the software has a feature that allows you to take notes. So I think those are the questions that I did not answer earlier. If we don't have any additional questions, I think that's it for me. Again, you can always find me on Facebook if you have things that you forgot to ask me. All right. So I think I'm giving the floor to Sir Jeff now. Sir Jeff?
Yep. Thank you, Sir Lone, and to Niners, and as well as to Sir Irvin. Thank you so much to all our participants and happy viewers. So yeah, see you next week.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
good night. Bye.